Hey everyone, it's Tracy, and in this quick tutorial I'm going to show you how you can quickly and easily remove the white paper background from a scanned image using Affinity Photo. Alright, so I have this line drawing here that my husband created, and we've scanned it in and want to remove the white background, isolating the actual line drawing. Now I scanned this in at a pretty high resolution, so if I zoom in here you can see that not only did it pick up the line drawing and some of the little ink artifacts, it also picked up the texture from the paper. So I need to get rid of that in addition to everything else. Well, there's a quick, easy way to do that in Photo under the Filters menu. Now, for those of you who use Designer, I'm sorry it doesn't actually have this particular filter, but I will be creating a separate video showing you exactly how you can do something similar to this using Designer. But for now, let's take a look at Photo's filter. If I select my layer here and I go up to Filters, Colors, and then Erase White Paper, if I click on that, it's going to go ahead and remove that. In fact, let's go ahead and try that right out of the gate without making any sort of adjustments. So I'll go ahead and click on it. Now, at first glance, it looks like it worked really well. It has the transparent background and the drawing is still there. But if I go ahead and zoom back in again, you can see that there's still a lot of artifacting. And if I grab my eraser tool and start to try and erase away some of these, there's also sort of a gray cast that's being erased at the same time. So Erase White Paper didn't quite get rid of everything. Let me go ahead and back out of this. What I want to do first is get more of a contrast. So this white is actually kind of gray. So when Erase White Paper is used, it's keeping some of that gray there instead of getting rid of all of the white. I'm going to go ahead and create a bigger contrast between my line drawing here and the background paper. And I'll do that using a levels adjustment. So again, I have that selected. I'll go to my adjustments here at the bottom of my layers panel and select levels. Now I get this little dialog box up. I'm going to start bringing up my black levels because they're clipped. It's going to make the drawing itself a lot more deep and dark, but we'll take care of that in a moment. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see why I want to use levels. So you can see this little area here that has sort of a line. If I start pulling the white down, that starts to disappear, and that's exactly what I want. Now it's not going to get rid of everything because if I go too far, watch the drawing, it's going to disappear. I want to find that sweet spot between the drawing staying exactly as it is and getting rid of some of those background elements to make it a little bit easier to use Remove White Paper. So it's right about there. Now I need to merge these two layers here. So because I have this right above here, I can just go ahead and hit merge. I'm going to back out of here. Now let's try zoom again. And I should mention, you can ignore this rectangle layer here I have. You don't have to add this. I'm going to show you why I use it in a moment, but for now I have it turned off and you can just ignore it. Let's go up to filters again, colors, and erase white paper. All right, same thing. It looks great. It kept the drawing in place. It removed most of the white background, and I'm seeing a lot of the transparency behind it. If I zoom in, I'm not seeing that paper anymore. I am still seeing some little spots here and there, and that's to be expected. I knew that was going to happen. But the key here is I'm no longer seeing that haze. So I'm going to turn that orange rectangle on, grab my eraser tool. If I start erasing away some of these spots, what you'll notice is I'm not getting that weird haze removal like I was previously. Now I could sit here with my eraser and just by hand erase all these, but that's going to take forever. Let's go ahead and zoom out. I'm going to turn this rectangle back off. What I want to do is just create a rough selection, but a close crop selection around my drawing. So I'll select my freehand selection tool, and I'm just going to keep pretty close to the lines themselves and just draw around, dipping in where I need to, but making sure not to cut away any of the drawing itself. All right, so I have my selection there, and right now the selection is around the drawing itself. What I actually want is everything outside of it. So I'm going to invert this. On a Mac, you can just do Shift-Command-I, or you can go up to Select and invert pixel selection. It's going to do the same thing. And now I have my selection outside of the drawing. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit delete. If I zoom in after doing that, you can see all of those little spots outside of that selection are gone. So that's a quick and easy way to get rid of a bulk share of what was left behind. I'll go ahead and deselect with Command D. Now, if I wanted to, I could grab my eraser and I could zoom in. And if there was anything inside that selection that I wanted to get rid of, I could do that. So I'll go ahead and just make my eraser a little smaller and maybe get rid of these little spots here and there. I don't really want to go overboard with this because part of the beauty of a line drawing is that you have some of these artifacts like you have right here. That's part of it. So I'm going to keep that. I'm really just looking for little spots that I think are going to be distracting. So I like this. This is done. If I wanted to turn the rectangle back on, you can see that I have a nice transparent background and I'm not seeing any of the white paper. So this is a pretty simple drawing to work with as far as the erase white paper goes. But what if you had something more complex like a texture? So this is a texture I created for my Gritty Grungy texture pack, which I've linked below in the description. And again, I want to go ahead and isolate the white background from the ink, the black ink here. And for me to do that with a background eraser, I'd be getting in here, it'd be impossible. So let's go ahead and try erase white paper again. I'll go ahead and add a levels adjustment right away because I already know I'm going to have the same issue I had with Joe's drawing. So I'll go ahead and bring my black up and I'm going to bring my white down. Now, one other thing that I want to do is I want to get some of the detail of the texture back, specifically the grays, because with texture like this, it's not just the black spots, but it's also the grays that help give you some of that texture. So I want to bring some of that back using my gamma levels here. Okay, let's go ahead and merge that. And I'll go up to Filters, Colors, and Erase White Paper. Just gonna think about it. All right, zoom in here. I have a rectangle already created behind this. Let's go ahead and turn that on. You can see there's no white, but I have the black, and in the spots where necessary, I have some of the lighter gray areas. So if I wanted to, I could go ahead and clip this to this rectangle. I could go ahead and change the blend mode. The whole point is I was quickly and easily able to take the white paper from my scan and remove it so that I could use it as a texture file. And that's it. That's how you can quickly and easily remove the white paper background from a scan using Affinity Photo. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them below. If you have an idea for a tutorial that you'd like to see in either the Affinity Suite, Adobe, or Procreate, let me know that as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.